Yeah, this problem is number 8 on your electronic homework. So I'm going to work through this and how you can put it into GeoGebra. So one thing that's really important too is to make sure you're using GeoGebra Classic. And click on that. And then I'm going to just make this big here. You can click over here in the far right and click these 3 dots and then choose Spreadsheet. And you may have to adjust if it comes out like scrunched up like that. Let's kind of push things over. And then I'm going to go ahead and get the data from the MyOpenMath. I'll show you how to work that. So it's in 2 columns, so we need to be a little careful how we put that in because it's one variable, statistics. It's not frequency distribution. It's not correlation. So I click and drag up from the bottom, then right click or hit Control C on your keyboard to copy. Then I go over here and I highlight the first 2 rows there in GeoGebra. The first row of the 2 columns there, and hit Control V. So I've pasted, but I only want it to be in 1 column. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight that one on the right. Then I hit Control X, and then I click right underneath the left-hand column, all that data, and hit Control. I want it right here. Not sure what just happened there. Control V, and then just double check that you got it all in there right, or you could just type it in. Then in order to get GeoGebra to work, I have to click and highlight the column of the data that I want, and then I'm going to click this histogram here and click one variable analysis. The default is to have a histogram show. I'm going to put box plot, and we can see here that we don't have outliers, but it doesn't tell us what the fences are because you don't mark those on a box plot, but we do want to figure that out. That's what the question's asking. So I'm going to need to use my 5-number summary in this sigma X here that says show statistics. You can get the data from that. So it's 4, 25.5, 49, 85, and 94. So I'm going to go ahead and type that in here. I'll pause, and you can jot those down as well. So now all those numbers are in there for the 5-number summary. And to figure out the IQR interquartile range, we take Q3, which is 85, minus 25.5. So you can use any calculator to do that. I'm just going to quick do it in the Desmos calculator. So this is Desmos scientific calculator that I'm using, and you could just do it out on paper or in your head or whatever also if you want. So we get 59.5 is our answer, and just to double check, yes, that's correct. So the next question is asking you to find the fences. That's what this means. That we have this rule 1.5 times the interquartile range states that the values between those are likely not outliers. So anything to the left of those or above that to the right on your graph would be outliers. So we have to figure that out and just do that by hand. If we did have outliers, they would have showed on that box plot, but we don't find the fences on there. So let's go ahead and just pop those values into the calculator, either the Desmos one or any other one. So you're going to take 59.5, multiply it by 1.5, and then subtract that from your first quartile to get the lower fence. and add it to your third quartile to get the upper fence. Okay, so I'll pause the video and type that into the calculator. Okay, so I went ahead and typed this in, 25.5 minus quantity, use your parentheses, 1.5 times 59.5 in parentheses, and I get negative 63.75. The nice thing about using Desmos here, or some calculators like the multi-view, you can go ahead and just highlight, hit Control C, paste it down here, and then I can just change these values to be reflective of the 85 plus, so that third quartile plus this 1.5 times my IQR, and I will get 174.25, and so that's what my fences are. And so we'll just double check everything's correct, and we're done. I could have just hit submit, I guess, too, but that shows is all correct. But hopefully that helps you using GeoGebra. You can do the same thing and get the 5-number summary using Stapplets too. So if you wanted to try that, we can go to Stapplets. We are going to do quantitative variable single group, but I think we can just go ahead and highlight, hit Control C, and then Control V, and it puts the spaces in for us. So this is actually quite nice, and I think most people probably were using that perhaps. We don't really need the variable name because we're not doing any saving of this, unless you had like a quiz and you want to show it out, but we don't really need a title. We just need to have the data here for the 5-number summary, which is exactly the same as what we got in GeoGebra. So we would just use those same numbers and then follow suit with the same thing. So I think with GeoGebra it's a little cumbersome in some ways, and I like Stapplets in other ways. So it really just depends on what you like best. When you have frequency tables though, and later when we have probability distributions and we want to find the mean and the standard deviation, it's really nicer to use GeoGebra. It's just a little quicker. So I hope that helps. Have a great day.